Mm. Mm. Old story. Ah, when the moon was at high peak, the mountains far, the fog thickening around the house of a small farmer's farmers, a small farmer. In the moon, I peak, Around the house. Small farmer. Oh, that's a great start to it. Farmer. Would at his table as he wouldn't normally. I think we'll start at 10 minutes. At his table as he would normally. At dinner time. He was always lonely. Alone. And only surrounded by his pets. At his table as he would normally do at dinner time. He was always alone, surrounded only by his pets. That's a bit of phrasing for it, I would say. His pets. His work. Busy. She's the dead of night. The soul. Okay. Take off. Sounds about right. That looks bloody vile. Oh, heavens no. That is a cursed gun. Oh. Can you please stop falling? Thank you. Oh. Hello, my name is Grunet, and I am a counselor here on Twitch. And what I want to bring for you today is a bit going through some Reddit stories. Sorry, and to give you my honest opinion about these things. So I hope you like it, and I hope it is something you might enjoy. That is from my perspective, and first of all, my perspective might not be always the right one, but it's one that I'm seeing now at this point, and when I'm looking at these things. So this is going to be, like I said, from my perspective, reading these things in the sort of care I would give people. Uh, Not care, and that's the wrong word. Sorry, English is my second language. The right educational side of it. Now, I won't go into say that I'm all knowing, but different perspectives help different sides of view and different sides of knowing how something could have been interpreted or could have been done in a different way. Let's start with our first story. So let me just change the music here for a second. Okay, that's fine. It's better. All right, we can start at the synonyms from the mental health one. And this one is from the mental health Reddit posts. If you ever find yourself reading these, always try, if you see people that need support, try to give a good and honest opinion, and that might be helping with the factors what they might go through. I didn't read these beforehand, so I don't know if they are in my scope of work, if I might say, but I'd give my honest opinion about it anyway. So let's check this. Concerned about my well-being due to negative thoughts from love interest. I recently had to quit a job because of panic attacks at work. My anxiety issue arose due to a source that's very concerning to me, and I think I really need professional help. Great start as well. Always, when you feel in need of professional help, seek it. That's always that's a good start, and I think you should seek professional help at any time, first time. During my time working this job, I developed a crush on a coworker, which became a deep love against my will. I asked her out and she turned me down, which I was all right with and managed gracefully. And that's good, as one should. There truly wasn't a problem for a while, but my mind started obsessing over in bad ways to the point my work became secondary. What set me over the edge was watching her and my good friend at work chat and flirt. For some reason, I got cascading panic attacks knowing they were engaging and still get them now thinking back to it. I feel insane for not being able to handle the fact that she was interested in someone else. I can't talk myself down. I'm scared. What should I do? Okay, first of all, this perspective of the word obsession comes, I think it's which we have a deep focus to some things, and especially if we're feeling I think he called it the superiority and inferiority complex. That's what he talks about. That is something that I would describe as something that you might be going through, and especially because of panic attacks, because it's not really the word inferior, but it is the fear of that your interest might be going to somewhere else. So he's not interested in you, and then that is a common thing in human. We choose our interests and the people who can stay with. Then there's something that we're going to do. I can't force a person to love. Nobody can. Well, maybe if you're North Korea, maybe. That's a part where I can think about. Is when you're in maybe in a place where there's like arranged marriages, where people are forced to love each other. I can think of that, but this is not the point of it. Let's get back on track. Firstly, yes, I would seek professional help. Speak about this to someone that is going to help you. My honest opinion is that where this truly became a problem, as you stated in this, is that your work became secondary. You weren't going to work basically. You were just going there to see her, and you became basically obsessive over her, and it garnered a problem that is basically the response of, how can I say this? You've garnered the response of her. You said you managed it gracefully, but this is the one part where I can't fully understand the situation because I can't talk with this person technically. What was gracefully about managing this? Because it doesn't look that way. Because if you've managed it gracefully and you've worked through it properly, you would then have less of these anxious attacks, to be honest, with this person. And that is something that should basically resonate with this. First of all, I don't think it's necessary to go seek for medication, because medication is when I would personally say is sometimes needed, and I can't garner it as well because I can't actually say anything about this because I don't know how's your mental health now and I can't see it, so I can't refer you to go. But if you say you need the professional help, then probably meds are gonna be needed. Maybe something that's gonna work on the anxiety, something that's gonna take the stress away. You know, not necessary. I wouldn't say a lot of doctors are quick to prescribe antidepressants, which if you understand their inner workings, I can understand it. But if you don't actually know what they're for, I think it's good to speak to a doctor and a psychologist at the same time. Let them treat you for if it's lack of sleep, if it's a lack of something, that they might be then trying something first before you go see a psychiatrist. Basically, before you go see the guy that handles all mental medications. I would say that is the first steps I would take upon this. Yes, go seek a professional. I would say a medical doctor. We call them house doctors. Where we are, you go to the house doctor and you tell him how you feel, tell him your symptoms, tell him these things, and most of the time they'll start you off with something that is the stress or anything like that. Yeah, all right. Let's give our response. I agree. Seek professional aid first. At first, before anything else, it might be good to see a doctor. agree to seek up first. That the second language is kicking in. I'm going to see a doctor first to help with something to take the edge off. Speak to I think I like that part. Speak to them about the symptoms you have and be honest with them so that they can choose the best direction to take. You are going through a tough time. I hope you can come with this a better version of yourself. Come with a special interesting medical. First, I said seeing a doctor first to help us something to take the edge off. You give them about your symptoms and be honest so that they can choose the best direction to take. This is not a feeling of insanity, but humanity. Love can be a cruel game for those who seek it. Be careful. Of your heart the most. No, the text chat is now available across every. Okay. Be careful of most of all. Most of all, when you have gained the answers you seek from these people, Find support groups. What was that one thing? I'm trying to remember now. It's called the 7 Ways of Fighting Depression. We go. In my home language we say normaliseer dit wat jy deurgaan. Want ander mense gaan ook deur dit. But it's very straightforward. Find support groups that have through this as well. Or counselors, speak, counselors. It is very good to get these feelings off your chest when you can speak about it to someone. Best regards. Warrior. Terrific to get these feelings. I won't say it's good. I won't say it's terrific. Okay, that was the first one. The basis of that. Really hope it gets better. And okay. Next one. Am I the asshole? From the subreddit. Alright. Let's see. Am I the asshole for being mad at how my husband handled a fire? I don't think this is in my real scope of work, but let's give it a try. My husband and I have a 9-month-old. Last week I was coming home from work and just as I was coming up the driveway, he came running down the driveway barefoot. He saw me and yelled at me to call 911. As there was a fire in the kitchen, I asked him where our son was because he wasn't with him. He said he was inside and to call 911 fast. We live somewhere rural and response times are slow. I immediately was scared that the house would go up with our son inside before the fire department could arrive. I went to run inside, but he tried to stop me. He kept yelling again and again that I couldn't go in because there was a fire. I went in. The way the house is laid out, you have to go through the kitchen to get to the hallway with the nursery. There was a grease fire on the stove in a pan. The wall above the stove and the curtains near also caught on fire. I put the fire in the pan. I put out the fire in the pan by putting a lid on and then put out the wall with curtains with a fire extinguisher. Then I immediately went to the nursery and go get our son. When I went back, our mom was gone. I soon found out he went down the road looking for a neighbor whose phone he could use. At that time, I was still am really upset that his reaction to the fire had been to run out without our baby and to even try to stop me from going inside before the fire department had come. And the fact that he put him in danger by not trying to put the fire out with a lid or baking tray over the grease fire at first when it was smaller, or trying to use the fire extinguisher. If I hadn't come home when I did, I didn't even want to think about what would have happened. The fire department showed up, but the fire was already out, and my husband also returned, driven by a neighbor. I was angry with him for the reasons I said, and he just totally clammed up. I went to stay with my sister and brother-in-law that night, taking our son. My husband was very angry with me over it, saying the next day, how dare I leave him alone after that? He needed someone to drive him to the urgent care after injuring his foot running barefoot. That upset me even more. The fact that was what he was worried about not had almost happened when he ran out of the house with it on fire with our baby. I've been staying at my sister's for about a week now. I don't know what to do, or if I was in the wrong for being so angry. So Reddit, am I the asshole for how I reacted to my husband starting an accidental kitchen fire, then running away, leaving our baby in the house? Oh, okay. Not the asshole. You already know. You already know you're not the asshole. Any father leaves his infant child alone in the house deserves to be called out on it. It already looks bad, but everyone has their own responses to emergencies. But for him to then say you need you home just so you can drive him to urgent care for his feet. Okay. Ooh. My dog is there on the bed. Not the guest bed. My office shares a guest bed at the end of the day. This is gonna be such a weird response. Okay. First of all, no, she's not the asshole for responding like this. Let's get that first out of the way. But trying to put perspective on this man's perspective is something which is okay. So we have our flight and fight lizard brain at the back of the head going, either you're gonna fight or you're gonna run away from the problem. And apparently this man ran the hardest he can, and his response afterwards is very wrong, because he clammed up when he should have started talking. Why is this important? Why I should have started talking? The point is, he should have tried and explained that he did not know what to do. And for a lot of men to say, I don't know what I was supposed to do in that position, is sometimes a hard thing to admit. There is a truth to this. It is hard to admit I was wrong, and especially he knows this person knows this, is that he was wrong to leave that child in the house while it was burning. And luckily there's already answers to explain. I don't really need. This is something which I would put on the perspective that they need to go for couples counseling, where there's going to be some psychoeducation. Now, which type of thing would you use here? Especially, I would see a psychologist first for couples counseling, that he can use. What they usually use in couples counseling is called logotherapy, which is something from Viktor Frankl. They sit you down and they take you through this. They take you through what happened during that day, the situation, and what they do is they sit you down and they go, all right, we're all going to be quiet now, and we're going to listen to person A's perspective about what happened in the situation, what went through their mind, what is the, and this is not to give like a forgiving side. No, it's for both parties to understand what went through their minds. because sometimes in these positions we use very sharp words when we speak to each other. We don't explain anything, we don't do anything, we just use very sharp words. And for a mother, I can understand she was in not in the words that she said, yeah, but she used very sharp words with her husband. Now for the husband side, the part where he said that he, which is a part I think he's making an excuse for care for him, or where he needs to go to urgent care for his injured foot or feet. I think that's where he kind of, let's say the word fucked up. That is the clearest word I can say for it. He did not pass over information correctly, and the information then went to a position where it basically sounded like he is an asshole. Very rightly so. Especially, how dare I leave him alone after that? He needed someone to drive him to urgent care after injuring his feet running barefoot. Uber, buddy. Uber yourself then to that. So I'm not going to give much of a response to this, but I would say that the best thing is go to a psychologist for care. Jeez. Go to couples counseling at a psychologist or a good counselor or therapist that can take you through this position. That is my last remark on this. Next. Am I overreacting? Is the Reddit. Alright. Am I overreacting for being upset that my boyfriend called me his bitch in the front of his friends? Alright, let's read here. My boyfriend and I have been together for about a month now. Ooh, very early days. Last night we were out with his friend group, and when someone I hadn't met before asked who I was, he said, "This is my bitch." In flat casual way, I froze and didn't say anything in the moment because I was caught off guard and didn't want to make things awkward. I'm honestly considering breaking up over this. Oh. I think this is a very young couple, to be honest. Reactions early days in relationships are very hard because first of all, where the mistake was made in this position is that you did not do it immediately. Guys, when that greeting was over, to any man or woman in a relationship, listen to what I'm saying. If something like this happens, don't leave it for afterwards. When everything has died down and you've gone away, and then the next day you message the person, nah, this is what happened, I'm so unhappy, blah, 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 blah. Don't fucking do that. It's when something happens, we talk about it now. If you want to save your relationship, start talking now. That's very important. Start talking about these things now. Don't leave it for later, because then it festers, and then men forget what happened. Men don't understand in that situation because it's not in the back of our heads. Men have like this part of the brains where they only take snapshot informations about things, and women play the whole thing through until it's confronted. So men have like these snapshots. Yeah, he's been taking English second language. So he's been taking these snapshots the whole night, Women go from point A to Z through that whole night. So yes, please talk about it now. Very important about this. So let's go through the chat messages. I grew up with very English literature. So yeah, what's the problem? I'm gonna assume that means what is the problem? Last night out with your friends, and that guy I haven't met before asked me who I was. You said that's my bitch. Oh, yes. Language people I haven't met before asked who I was, and you said that's my bitch. It made me really uncomfortable. You can't call me that. Oh, okay, this is the first part. Why can't he call you that? Why does it make you uncomfortable? I'm going to take both parties inside of this because sometimes there needs to be two perspectives in this side because I'm not going to pick anyone first. No. Lol, what? Exactly. You did not make that first of all clear. Please, when you're talking to someone, make it clear why it makes you uncomfortable. Oh, what? Are you not my girl or am I missing something? Okay. So here again, this is a possessive sound. It sounds like you're my girl. You're my this. Neither is a person a possession or anything. A relationship is a connection. Yes. You did not say girl, though you said bitch. That's not okay. Again, why is it not okay? Well, if you were uncomfortable, why didn't you tell me that time? Oh my goodness, I fucking can't believe it. Why didn't you tell me at that time? Great response to this man. Why didn't you tell me at that time? Again, men take snapshots. And if you want a relationship with a man to be good, tell him immediately. Don't leave things later for men. And men shouldn't take things for later. You should talk immediately. Immediately, when that thing happens, hit the nail on the head. You pull him to the side and you say, listen, I don't like you calling me a bitch in front of people. I am your girlfriend. But the reason why I don't like being called a bitch is examples you give to him. Okay. I don't know how to respond in the moment without making things awkward. In front of everyone, it would have been humiliating for both of us. Okay. You could have corrected me or said something if it bothered you that much instead of holding on to it and bringing it up later like this. Very sensible, my good sir. You want me to censor myself around my friend group? What? All I'm saying is not to introduce me in a degrading way. That's it. Okay. I'm dead a little bit forward about that, but this is a great aspect of it. She feels that it's a degrading word. Okay. But this is something which I would say in early relationships, if you don't know the humor of truly of a person in the beginning of a relationship, both are going to have some fucking thick skin in the beginning to understand that humors are not the same. Just because you like a person, you don't know his humor yet. For my instance, chillax a bit in the part of the beginning of relationship. This is only a month-old relationship. You're gonna have to learn the do's and don'ts, and you're gonna have to have thick skin, and you're gonna have to talk about all these things continuously. Look, I've been married for 8 years, and I can truly tell you to the part that there are still things that grind in my relationship with my wife. And it's not that we don't understand, but it is took time to build this relationship where we take the time and understand how we're going to talk with each other and that point. Right. That word only feels degrading if you decide to take it that wow way. 100% correct. All right. So again, he took it as humor and she took it as an insult, which is the difference about these two sides, which honestly sounds more like your own insecurity than something I actually did wrong. Very correct, because it was used in the word of a humorous way in a friend group. Don't think it's insecure to want basic respect. Again, you should have opened this up the moment that happened. After he greeted his friends, pulled them to the side and just tell him, I don't like when you call me a bitch. Very could have been very easily been done differently, especially when meeting people for the first time. He made a joke. It was a joke, and it was nothing more than a joke. You're not really a bitch. He just reacts this way in front of his friends groups. Well, you're overreacting over a word. I don't know what to tell you. I can't be responsible for every feeling you have, especially when I didn't intend anything malicious. Correct. Very correct. What the fuck are you talking about right now? This is honestly pissing me off. You're a grown man. You should understand why I'm upset about this. He does not, because you're doing this over text, which should have been handled in fucking discussion. Calm the fuck down. Are you on your period or something? Jeez, okay. This guy just lit a fucking fire. Dear men, don't ever go on the thing about are you on your period or something. That usually just makes the situation worse. Calm down, enter it with logical thoughts. And when a person is talking like this over the text and they don't understand what you mean, talk with them in person. Next time something bothers you, say it right away. You ruined my morning. Don't think there will be a next time. Correct. Next time something bothers you, say it right away. Correct, man. I don't think there's any other way to place that in a better discussion. Next time something bothers you, say it right away. And that is how it should be. And yes, I think she is overreacting and that she needs to get a thicker skin. Next. Am I overreacting? He always accuses me of cheating. All right. I get called names for just simply responding when he asked me 3 times until I snapped. Then I'm the bad guy, right? Always. Always being accused of cheating, asking for attention by doing things. I'm tired of feeling guilt for just being alive. And then, now that I left, I'm the bad guy who always started arguments. I'm listening to my friends' opinions, which he made me cut off while we were dating, so they had no choice, no say in my choice to leave, telling me I'm already out with other guys when I literally feel like I've been hit by the train, by a train after 5 years of being treated like this, walking on eggshells, then after him asking why I wasn't able to love him properly. How can anyone feel comfortable in this life? Oh, jeez. Guys, let's read this. Oh, oh, good Lord. Just read this. Your insecurities are real. whose voice was talking to you that I just listen? Oh, people. Oh, I can't explain this enough sometimes, and I think people need to listen when I talk to some of these people. Insecurities are real. They are very real. No, I'm not taking this away from you. What's this? Almost got creeped out. All right. Just going through this. First of all, insecurities are something you always need to talk about your partner. Very good and very first in all positions in a relationship. Don't take it away. Insecurities are a real thing, and people need to talk about it when it happens. Let's read this together. But can have some spicy purple Dorito. I'm going to Walmart now. That was. Sorry, I can't steer this cart and hold my phone. I'm gonna crash. But what chips? Who was talking to you when you called me? Nobody is talking to me. I was walking off. Hold on for a second. Give that up. Nobody is talking to me. I was walking. So whose voice was talking to you that I just listened? This guy clearly has had previous relationships where cheating was a big problem. So whose voice was talking to you that I just listened? Bruh, I'm done. I'm mad. Like nobody was talking to me. I am walking. You just called me, you stupid bitch. Don't act like I'm tripping, you dumb cunt. You just fucking called me and there was someone else talking. Don't you fucking gaslight me. I love you, but I'm never going to let you gaslight me again. Oh, jeez, good lord. This person has some very overactive insecurities in his life, and I think he should see a counselor, a therapist, or a psychologist. Maybe someone's voiced picked up because I'm in a public space or place, but nobody is near me. I'm not talking to a stranger in Walmart. I'm literally buying you chips and being nice. And you just accuse me always. I'm in public. No, you didn't, you stupid hoe. Oh, geez, that's not how you talk to your partner at all. You said you dumb bitch. I don't know who the fuck was talking. I was trying to get my cart to stay straight. Oh. Don't fucking act like I'm out of pocket. And now I'm pissing people off because I'm texting you while I'm trying to shop. I just want to know what chips you want. I'm in public. Yeah, maybe someone voice picked up on my phone as I walked by. There's hundreds of people here. Okay, what chips do you want? Just forget the chips. I'm getting Doritos. No, my dear, I'm glad you stepped away from this. You should not be treated this way in any relationship. If you are in a relationship like this and you love this person truly and you don't want to let them go, couples counseling. Get this sorted out immediately. If a person is treating you like dog shit, seek the necessary help you need. Don't ever stay on a path where you're treated 24/7 to the point of this. This is not, oh, new potion or new option 2. Hi, how are you? This is a point where I would say this thing is, don't be in a relationship like this. And so we will go to next. Right. Okay. There's a chat here. Hi, how are you? My name is Grunat. I am a counselor here in South Africa. Is there something you want to talk about? Oh, let's see. I've been looking for a while. You should check out Reddit Nice Guys. There's probably some interesting reads there. Oh, do you want to go read it together? Okay. Just for my interesting sakes, or sorry, just for my YouTube shorts. Nah, don't worry about it. I will skip it. Oh, Nice Guys. Oh. Let's see where that takes us. And it's slow. Okay. That's that. Oh. Now it's taking very slow. I'm very sorry. Alright, while that's loading, try it again. Come on. Oh, wrong enter button. Wrong input. Wrong input. That's my soundboard. I'm sorry. Oh, Nice Guys. Let's see if it's gonna go now. One of its Reddit servers. Ah, it's a down. Oh, that's okay. We'll check it in a little bit. So, how are you? Nice to come join the chat, man. You say you've been lurking for a while. Okay. Let's see if I go to the main page. Reddit reload. No, it doesn't. Okay. If encountered in, please try again later. Okay, I see. So, knee option 2. How are you? You doing good? How was 2025 for you? Ah, all right. You lurk on streams. Also read stuff like this on Reddit. So no. Yes, yes. I'm a counselor here from South Africa, and I think I started in November, and I was trying to find my brand, basically what to do on Twitch. So usually then I do these on Friday, which is now the first and the last one for this year, but mental health streams. So I kind of give my perspective on these things, basically on a counselor side. And which is something. And then, which later on, if the community grows, I'll do mental health Q&As. If somebody in chat would struggle with something, chat about it and things that can be done about it. Oh, yes, they're very good. Now, if you mind, if I can ask you a question, how was your 2025? Mixed feelings. Okay. I won't delve deeper. I've met a lot of people this year who could say that they either had a very good year, a very bad year. In the response you gave, mixed feelings. I myself had a okay year. I wouldn't say that in if I can give my perspective as a counselor, I've met a lot of people this year that I can't really say that my year was bad. It was okay. Especially we here in South Africa, we have a very undereducated system for people in common sense. Common sense. Sorry, English is a second language for me. We had a lot of time this year of uneducated people doing some very interesting things in the counseling perspective, and I won't say this person's name or anything like that to keep confidentiality about who they are, but we had this one problem about a mother coming to us, and she was going through a divorce with her husband at the time, or he assaulted sexually the child in the marriage which they had, and it became a very big problem on both sides because neither did she make a police case against this person or anything like that, and he felt bad because she didn't let the child visit the father. Which is a very big no-no, because in the responses the child also has trauma, not the mother, and the mother was only seeking help for herself, and which we had a big educational year for this lady. We luckily got the kid in a pediatric facility for traumatic survivors and stuff like that, and we also sent her to a place that they can educate her on these things, which at the end of the time, it made it a big mess, but it was a necessary mess, I would say. Where they had to educate these people first, and then the court cases were starting to get on the divorce, why the divorce happened, and then the police cases, and it was a whole mess. But at the end of the day, these people were basically educated through a system which grown people had to be educated, which was confusing. Reddit is back. Wrong input. I'm so sorry. Oh, nice guy. Oh, dear me. If it's on this one any better. No. Reloaded new posts, but I don't know what's going on here. Okay. I'm going to read this one further. If you want to go, I don't know that anybody has to stay. If you could drop a follow, that would be nice. I'm going to do 2 more of these stories, and then I'm going to play some games just to even out the night. Oh, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Gonna read about 2 more of these stories, and then I'm just gonna play some games. You can stick around. We can chat. I don't mind, really. All right. Am I the asshole? Ooh. To my girlfriend for allowing my ex to stay at mine and for driving her 7 hours to her parents' home. All right. I'm 23. I broke up with my ex, 25, 2 years ago. With my current girlfriend, 27, for over a year. Well done to this guy. He's very young and he's catching all the ladies. I was out with some lads and I saw my ex with her new boyfriend. He was shoving her and called her a slag and other stuff. I went over and broke it up and took her back to mine. All right. I would say the first thing, before you took her back to your place, is call your girl. Jeez. Call her immediately. I live with 3 mates, so I wasn't alone with her. Again, no. Oh, women don't like these things. The response when you broke it up and before taking you, if you should take a person to a place, call your girl immediately. It's like, I'll come pick you up and you can guard me the whole night and you can be with me the whole time. I just want to help this person, not out of me trying to break the relationship or anything with you. I just saw that this person was in need and I'm a great guy and I was basically just trying to help them. Well, women don't see that. They just see that you brought your ex back up. First of all, the actions. I would say this is the first action that should have been there. When the moment you broke it up, afterwards, I would say call your girl at that moment of time, which was the very important side of this. I live with 3 mates, so I wasn't alone with her. Doesn't matter because you have a room alone. I let her sleep in my bed, and I slept on the couch. I did tell my girlfriend, and she didn't really react. Yeah, because personally, I think this was very much too late when you did these things. She is a mess. Her whole life is a mess, not just the relationship. I told my ex I was taking her home to her parents. She didn't really argue. Again, I think you should have picked up your girlfriend and you should have done this together. It was a 7-hour journey. Her dad thanked me and he took me out for a meal to chat to me. He handed me a couple of hundred for doing what I did. He said, maybe get a hotel and don't do the full 7 hours back down this evening. I did get a hotel. When I came back, my girlfriend, in front of my mates and hers, asked why did you feel the need to help her? Well, he was a nice guy, and I think he should have just done the whole trip with her, which would have put her in a very better position. She's not He didn't do anything bad necessarily. And I agree 100% with you. The the perspective here, as again I would give, is his girlfriend should have been included with the whole thing and not doing this on his own. Um, because most of the times, sometimes this is a perspective, I would say, that this mainly the reaction that she's going to give now is that she wasn't included. Would you agree with that? Yes, I agree with that. Lack of communication, really. Oh, yes. The lack of communication is going to influence the overreaction, definitely. She's more mad at him not telling her much more than him cheating on her. Yes, that's how it's going to look to her. And again, thanks for that perspective, which is a great one to have. The lack of communication, I think that is a very important part of this. And where he should have communicated on the dot, on the time, on these things. It's not your responsibility. If I said if it was one of my sisters, I want their ex to do it. She was really angry and she asked, "Did I cheat?" I said, "No." She said, "How can I believe you?" Jeez, sorry, interrupting. I hate these people coming into the chat and trying to give me chatters for money. I'm just gonna ban this person. That's I don't like doing things dishonorably. I build my own stakes and my own background. I agree. She said, "How can I believe you?" I said, "Let's talk about it later in private," which is always a good thing. She kept talking, saying, "Why break up with her if you were just going to run back to her?" One of my mates spoke up and said that I had slept on the couch. She said, "Men will stick together." She asked me what I would think if she went on a romantic trip with my ex. Jeez. I said it wasn't a romantic trip and that it'd be sick if he fucked a vulnerable ex. She stormed out saying I had accused her of being a predator. She hasn't spoken to me in a couple of days since. Was I the asshole for how I helped my ex? Her parents have a lot on, that's why I drove her up rather than expecting them to come down. User told me to add that her father was very good to me as a kid. He looked out for me, let me tag along to job, stuff like that. Yes, I think the reaction of this is I wouldn't bless him as the asshole for this. And this could easily be sorry, I'm just going to read this could easily be solved if they talked it out rather than overblowing the situation. Lol. Yes, I agree 100% with this. But the reaction, if I can take it a little bit on a psychological perspective, is that there sounds like a bit of an insecurity on this new girlfriend. First of all, she said men will stick together. And she asked me what I would think if she went on a romantic trip with her ex. There's a bit of insecurity for me about this. In reading in this, I'm not actually talking with them, so I can't really also say much about this. But there's more of a bit of an insecurity coming forward on her side. On this guy, he is not insecure about how he's feeling. He's being honest. Both of their ways are flawed. Yes, it is flawed. They are going into overreaction instead of passive reaction, which is a good thing to do. I think if he went for more in a passive reaction, in basically meaning that he goes to the softer side of this, and usually what can help in this situation at the time is that she would blow it up, but you're still passively progressing in the discussion, and it's basically a trusting side which you build with a feminine side sometimes, not always, but it's something that could have been used in this. It's not the only answer to this, but if we could have had this passive reaction, like, please, let's calm down, let's listen, and he continued this until she basically caved in for that private discussion. And we can actually go up and tell her, like, listen, if you want to know, we can call her father, maybe. I wouldn't do it, but if we had to at that moment. I think if the overreaction, I agree with you. The overblowing the situation did not help it at all. And especially the reaction she gave for not talking for days. Now, dealing with a lot of relationships, there's this thing which is a very important like rule. Don't leave anything, don't leave it, speak about it now. If there's a situation now in the relationship that you have, speak about it now. And especially in the beginning of that, where she didn't really argue, she didn't really talk, and she didn't actually say anything. I think she should have talked in the beginning about how she felt about this. And in the same with him, I think there should have been an honest discussion. I think there's many ways he could have handled this. But if I can keep it simple, I think is to maybe find a way to talk with her where you can actually maybe have gone to her for the night, and she could have been like an watchful eye on this person, but there's no clear continuous answer. Now, the option, do you have any other perspectives on this? I'd like to hear it. Ooh, it's back on. Let us see. Every action which is not a bad thing, that means they care about each other. They need to communicate better, though. I agree. That is a good perspective. Yes, I can say that every action is a sign of care. It's usually in any relationship that is care and love. And I can take the part of that guy. He's a very, he looks like a very caring person, to which he has given us this thing to read. I can't really say what his personality is. We don't know him. But the way he, instead of yelling or accusing you, they could have just talked it out normally. I agree with that. Very true. Very true. Communication is base standard for any relationship. Um, the like I said before, when there's a problem, talk about it now. Don't leave it to fester for long. That's usually when problems accumulate more than they should. If it just could have been sorted out in a very good discussion beforehand and then not being ignored for a few days. I agree. But emotions do take over in a relationship most of the time. So realistically, taking it out normally is hard. It is hard. That I can agree. That is where I would say maybe some couples counseling would be good for them, so that there's this thing that you can exercise on your in your relationships, which you do in couples counseling. There's this guy called Viktor Frankl. If you know him, fantastic. He wrote a very nice book. Just let me Google it for a moment. It's called Meaning Something. I read it a while back. Viktor Frankl book. Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning. Great book. But okay, yeah. So Viktor Frankl is a psychiatrist who survived some horrific things, but he developed this thing called logotherapy, which is where you sit a couple down and you go, okay, so we're going to listen to this person's story and what they thought about at that time, what did they do, and is to be as honest as possible, and you need to uphold the honesty. And what the other partner is going to do is they're going to sit quietly and listen to the story, and then vice versa to the other. And it's to start the discussion afterwards, after you've heard both sides, how they felt that time, what went through their heads. And it's basically a starting moment for discussions for couples to not overreact, so that there's a better understanding. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this is my first time at this. What is, I think NG is for nice guys. What is the VC? The Sopranos. That's nice. In GBC. I don't know what that means. Getting a bit creepy. Have my eyes off. Okay. No idea. I just browse the subreddit when I want to see how more stupid people can get. Okay. Well, let's give this a go. NGVC, getting a bit creepy. Okay. Only a lesbian would say that. After I told my 27-year-old coworker I thought it was creepy, he wouldn't leave me alone. Context in comments. Okay. What is the context before we read anything? Here is OP's full context. Context is key. It finally let me post this, but for context, I've worked 2 different jobs with him. I first met him when I was 16 at a fast food job. A year later, we both worked at this sales job. I thought he was cute, but found out he was married. He told me he was in an open relationship. Oh, jeez, that... Oh, the most geniuses of relationships. Ah, and that it was fine. Me being the dumb 17-year-old who... Wait, how old is he? He was married and you were 17. Oh, that's pedophilia. Ooh. Me being the dumb 17-year-old who wanted attention, tried talking to him for like 2 weeks. But I immediately felt weird about it, as you should. I ended up quitting and he's been texting me since then and recently texted me this today. It was wrong of me, I know, but I also immediately checked myself. He also admitted to thinking I was cute at 16. Am I in the wrong? Open relationships just exist so that they can, I don't know how to say this in English, but keep their partner around for good measure while they can hit on anyone they want. I'll get to that now. As a failsafe. Oh, yes. And these open relationships, they try to figure out why the marriage fails at the end of the day, because one or the partners would fall in love with the other one and they just end up leaving each other. It sadly doesn't work in stable relationships. It's not a safe thing either. No, it's not a marriage. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah. I'm going to try and phrase this very nicely about these people, but when open relationships come to the point, people have this thing where they think that, oh, okay, it's an open relationship. But sometimes when those open relationships become a very big problem is when only one party allows it, like the female would say, I love you, and I would never leave you, but I want to see other men while we were together and stuff like that. Or the man would say that vice versa to the woman. And yes, there's no open relationship. They should stay single. You're completely correct about it. Completely correct about it. Stay single, run around, and then when you hit 40, well, in the female's case, you are either going to end up very alone in the rest of your life. Well, men don't have ovaries, they have testicles, that they can have kids at a very later stages. But again, it's not about that. Not about that. It's about the brokenness that this causes. When you sit and talk with these people, you come to find they have insecurity about commitment, to truly commit to another person. there's no actual commitment. Like you said, they do this as a fail safe, that they, if something were to go wrong, I can just always just go back to where these things are. Let's read these texts. Hey, how's it going? You going by the office today? I won't be there. I don't think it's insecurity. I think it's just the mentality of I can find something better. You could very be correct about that. Sorry, I use the word insecurity a lot. In English as a second language, so there's in my main language, there's a lot of connotation to the words, if I can say that. So we would have a lot of words for, oh, it's Afrikaans in South Africa. Hey, how's it going? You going by the office today? I won't be there. I want to see you, miss you. Probably a hard language to learn. If you can roll your R and say G like, then not much. Then it's not that hard. Hey, did I make you quit or what? Hey, can we talk about LOL? Just, if there was anything I did to make you not want to work there, you would let me know. Also, I haven't even knocked like this month. I think of quitting too, to be honest, at least finding another job till the summer. No, lol, I've just been busy. Yeah, for real. And solar is just kind of not what I thought it was gonna be, to be honest. Still down for that date though. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, this guy can't take a hint. Okay, why not? Did my wife message you or something? Oh, that's not a good sign. Did my wife message you or something? No, you have a wife? I shouldn't be talking to you at all. I guess, but we're kind of in an open... the phrasing of this is kind of terrible. Yes, but we're kind of in an open relationship. She thinks you're cute. I don't like that kind. Sorry, just now. I hope all goes well, though. Have a nice day. Again, I don't know. Some people not taking the hints or just too horny. No, to actually take the no. Like, just try again. Okay, wish you nothing but the best. Did I do something to you? No, okay, I read that. I do. People. No common sense these days, you know? You can't respect a boundary. Sorry for the words, a good boundary. And it's like a gambler. They know they're going to lose, but they still, you know, I wish boundaries was a better discussion for people in modern day education. And especially this girl. This discussion should have been a boundary where she'd block him and just said, listen, this is what I think about this. And my boundary is not overstepping this. If the moment you're going to overstep the situation, cut it. Don't let them go on about this. Even if I'm single now, it's fine. Yes, it's kind of I wouldn't say a fault, but she should have taken the initiative to block this before it could get any worse than it is. I agree. It's fine. Just thought you liked me. I did like you. It does escalate the problem. I did like you. Just too much going on for me right now to do anything like that. Sorry. Well, we could at least be friends if you're down. I don't know if anyone else that's done solo too. Would kind of just be nice to have someone to relate with. I'm not even looking to try to get with you or be in a relationship. No, that's not true. I like you as a person and just kind of more looking for a friend. You're chill and I feel like we can talk about a lot together. I won't blow you up or ask for inappropriate stuff. Maybe we could just text or hang out sometimes. How's finding a job going? I'm trying to find something too. Thinking of renting my truck out for deliveries and hauling and stuff. What about you, your friend from Wet a Wild? What about her? Does she want to text or talk? No, she's pregnant. Oh, damn. Okay. I miss you. What you doing? Please stop texting me. Jeez. You'll take the hint. Block the guy. What the fuck? Okay, Lamau. Why you go on a date with me and tell me you would kiss me then? I already said I don't want to talk to anyone right now. And as soon as I said no to you, you asked for my friend. Oh, there's... I don't think she's saying actually a lot about this whole thing. Something happened here. Something's not connecting the dots. I just figured maybe your friend would be social and normal, but I guess getting a bit creepy. Okay, only a lesbian would say that. Which I always thought you were. You're mad. I'm really not. Yeah, it doesn't look that way. Why are you blowing up my phone still calling me? I don't call you a lesbian. You literally just said you thought I was a lesbian. Doesn't mean I'm calling you. Oh, jeez. Oh, this hurts my brain of pure stupidity. Doesn't mean I'm calling you one. Also, why even play the part or go along with shit if you're supposedly not into it? Bro, that was like a month ago. I just got so busy I had to quit. It's not just you. I know, and I'm not blaming you, and I know everyone gets busy. I've been like that too. I don't even care about all that. I just think you're cute, and I thought we kind of vibed, even though we were both kind of antisocial, and that's why you thought we were cool. And like I said, I'm not thirsty. Oh, no. Apparently. That's not the truth, my good sir. Just want to be your friend and see what it leads to, but at the same time I wouldn't be bugging you if it didn't lead me on. This guy sounds like the creator of or the voice actor for Rick and Rick and Morty. I talked with those young girls, trying to bait them in. I told you I wasn't interested in any relationship of any kind right now. I did not lead you on. And after the fact, you still continue to text me and stuff. I'm sorry if I made you feel that way, but there's a lot of people to become friends with, just not me. You've set the boundary now. I politely asked you to please stop texting me and you're calling me a lesbian after the fact. Why would I want to be friends with you? I'm not looking for a relationship. Where do you get that from? Not looking for a relationship though, so where do you get that from? You literally said it, my guy, and why not you? You did not even want to be friends before the fact, but okay. I'm gonna be serious. Are all these people a bit, sorry for the word, retarded like this? Oh my word. But okay, I'll leave you alone. Just trying to connect and see what comes from it. But I can tell you don't like my connections. Hard feelings, and I have nothing against you. no. No hard feelings. And I have nothing against you for not climbing into my pants. He just dances around his words all the time, and when she calls him out for it, he does the like, I didn't mean that. I meant this. Yes, truly. Um. So when can I climb in your pants? Oh, this is. Oh. Oh, I'm not a pedophile. I'll wait till you're 18. And that's why I'm just keeping texting you. I don't want to go to jail. I want to be your friend. Oh, thanks for the subreddit. This is. Oh, this is. It's not gold. It's platinum. Very nice guy comes to you with all sincerity of his heart and wooed you. He expresses love and kindness to you, yet you reject him. Oh, honestly, some of you ladies are the cause of your problem. Many ladies have missed their Mr. Right because they are searching for a tall, handsome, and rich man. Very true. A very nice guy comes to you with all the sincerity of his heart and wooed you. He expresses love and kindness to you, yet you reject him. You say he is not handsome. You say he has no money. He is not tall, but when a player comes to woo you, you accept him because he told you sweet lies and is handsome and good looking, pretending to be a nice guy. You are more attracted to physical appearance and sweet words. You become carried away. You open your legs with him. He used you, dump you, and shatter your heart into pieces. Now you are crying that men are wicked. Who is to blame? Is it you, the lover, or lies, or flashy things, or the guy? Have you forgotten to wash your face before blaming the mirror? Except you change from this mentality, you will always be used and dumped and end up marrying a man who will be punching you, all because of your greed for money and flashy things. Be wise, don't reach menopause stage before you regain your senses. Oh, some very true words, but he's not wrong. You're correct, but some of the stuff is funny. But if I can take one of these things about which is harming relationships these days, and you can't keep people from sex. It's something that's gonna happen, but what's gonna happen in a lot of relationships, which is happening in like the back of the mind psychology, is that people after many relationships and each ended up with sex. Yeah, you can't be too picky. Some people are just too picky. Yeah, that's correct. What was this? What's happening in relationships these days is when people are having too much sex in relationships, they you can go read this up. It's something that I think a lot of people need to read up to, because when they become in relationships, they start to feel not a lot for a person because they had sex. So I mean, I'm gonna take this for instance. Let's say a very player slept with a lot of women. And he goes to a girl has maybe slept with 2 guys in her life, and he sleeps with her. And after the sex, she feels a connection. He feels very connected to this person, but this guy doesn't have that connection. Doesn't have that after sex connection with this person, and he just ends up leaving her because he doesn't have that part of his mentality and connection. Is that it's kind of like a broken chain. It doesn't hook anymore. It doesn't give the connection is supposed to give. So over a long time, why sometimes a lot of these relationships fails is because there's no hook. And what is the main center part of a relationship when you have connected with a person is sometimes, in people's cases, is sex. Is the hold in connection where you've become so close to each other that you have confided your bodies in secret with each other in a position where you can actually then have meaningfulness and towards the relationship. And that's when unrealistic expectations take over. Yes, especially because there's also a lot of social media which is a very hard burden to see these days, because when you go on and Instagram is just full of this nonsense. Social justice warriors, and not only them, but these lady influencers are not showing the full picture of anything, and they are giving very unreal expectations about relationships and things that need to be given in a relationship. I think that it's a sickening thought sometimes watching these IG reels and thinking that you are showing off, but that doesn't mean Amanda in Tulsa somewhere in America is not going to have the same experiences that you have, because she doesn't maybe have the assets or body figure that you've perfected over in surgery. In social media influences way too much, then we realize some people think someone is telling the truth because a popular person says it. And the algorithm literally suits the videos you're liking, so what you think is what you get. And that is true. That is true. That's true. So it just fuels their mindset even more. Yes, it fuels the mindset even more in the position of, this is what a man is supposed to give you. This is what a relationship is supposed to be. If he's not bringing you a diamond rock the size of a small car, which is a very exaggeration, but the mind of it is that then he doesn't love you. Which is something I find a little bit more sickening in the thought about that. I think people should have literally the space to accept that you can't, nobody is a social influencer and earn that 7 to 6 figure salaries per year and anything like that. There was a saying my father always said: men are simple. If they can afford the thing that they want and it keeps them happy, then they're happy. Men are, most of the time, most men, I would say about 95% of men in this world, some men are just happy to smoke a cigarette every 2 minutes. And as simple as that. That is a mentality of men. Notice how it's always, if he doesn't but you this or that, at the end of the day, it's materialistic. Yes, it's very materialistic. Very. Yes, that buy. If he doesn't buy you this or that, then he doesn't love you or he doesn't care. That is the truth of that mentality. Yes, materialistic. Now, I don't want to blanket cover, throw a big blanket over women, because it's not all women, but it is a large population of women these days, not the whole, but a large of them, that believe that materialistic value is the value of a relationship. You get in this relationship is the value. You know, if he bought me these things, the relationship is good, which is a bunch of bullshit in entirety of these things. It's nonsense. The value of my relationship is the worth of money I can put to it. I mean, at the end of the day, whether it be wrong or right, people find other people that have the same similar mindset. So whatever makes them happy, I guess. Yes. My mother has a very, very good way of saying these things. I'm going to say it first in Afrikaans, then I'm going to explain it. Love is in the eye of the beholder. That is true. That is true. My mother's saying is, elke pot het 'n deksel. Selfs 'n pispot. And what that basically means is every pot has a lid. Even a urinal pot. The lid. They will find each other to match each other. She's a good old woman. It is a good saying. Elke pot het 'n deksel. Even a passport. Everyone has their match. That is true. That is true. All right. Any option, thanks for joining the chat tonight. I appreciate it truly. And for the follow that you gave, thank you. It has truly made my night discussing with someone. Yes, I play War Thunder. Hold on. Let me open it, then I can show you. I'm not that far ahead. Open up this bad boy. I played a lot a while ago. Then I was doing my honors degree this year, so I didn't play a lot, which kept me a bit back. And I am waiting for a certain aircraft before I start doing the aircrafts. And in the next update, an aircraft, or in this update, what do they call this one now? I can't remember. Oh, 4.0 in Germany tanks, 4.0 planes in the US. I think the planes you may be winning me. Germany tanks in the OG days of War Thunder are the GOAT with the goated tanks. I had two accounts. My first account I lost, sadly. I tried getting it back, but I couldn't. So my main tanks is on Britain. I think it's 10.3 on the BR there. And man, even started playing a week ago. Man, if you enjoy the game, you play it. and that is the important part. If you enjoy it, and it can be a very grinding game. I think you've experienced that. At this moment, my highest BR is not Britain. My second highest BR is 10.39 Britain. I'm working for this Challenger Mark II. I'm now ranked 7. Okay, and then the planes. Where's? I think I have a Spitfire that's a 4.0. Yeah, 4.0 in the British planes. Let's see. I'm doing now the Russian mines because I was in a guild, and then when you are in a guild, you can earn your guild research points for like planes and tanks and stuff. I was in the research for my guild, and I got my T80 UK, my Russian T80 UK, which is very, very hard to play. I'm not gonna lie. Struggling a bit with this one because I don't have any backups, so I use my backup cards for this thing, so I don't play it a lot. But I'm busy now with my whole Russian side. Americans, let's see. Yeah, rank 2. I think that's where I last stopped with them. Germany. I miss tanks. Jeez, I missed a lot. Let's see. Where did I last stop? yes, but I stopped at rank 4 for Germany at 6.7 with the Tiger 2s. Like I said, back in the day, these tanks were the OGs, like Germany tank battles OG. You and the Russians were like the main tank users. So it was either besides you and Germany and USSR that you were usually playing, and it was only back in the day. It was only USA, Germany, USSR, and Great Britain at that time. These other nations did not exist. I think it was France, Japan, Italy, China, Sweden, and then Israel that came after that, if I can remember correctly. I might be wrong on that. You can check on it. After playing Germany for a while, I started the tree for Britain, and their beginning tanks are so fun. And they have this round with them. Is it? Not that one. This one. Like a little lethal round that you can have, but you're one shot and you're dead. They kill you very quickly. The American tanks, what didn't make this fun for me is this part here. Going from rank 2 to 3 is the gap is way too big. They need to add a layer of tanks right here in the American tree before going over towards this, because the jump, these tanks are not competing with these guys or any of the other trees in this moment. It's very hard, but if you get past it, you can start having good games again. The last time I played Germany, I've got a proper kick on my behind, because they nerfed Germany like a lot, and that's why I stopped playing them. And then I focused on Great Britain for a while. But as you can see, there's these holes in these research places, which I just never came back to them. At this moment, even the upper tiers, this one I can still catch in. Like this one, the Badger, which is a South African vehicle, not really. There's like only a few of them made. They stopped it because our corrupt government kept stealing money. This TTD, only one of it exists to this day. It's somewhere in the South African military, sitting and capturing dust. Our main battle tank now is literally is this, which is basically a Centurion 1 tank that they heavily retrofitted and is still very shit. Honest opinion about that. Let's see, I know Japan, I'm at 8.3. Just got the STB2. I'll be honest, which is a very hard fight. They can pack a punch when you have the right ammo for them, but if you're shot, you're dead. It's not that great. The Chinese, you can basically just play the Russians at the end of the day. Even the tanks here at the end, it's the same. 125mm cannons. You can just play the Russians. They do have what they now the Taiwanese M182 Abrams tanks. Upload. Okay. This is kind of hard. This VT5 is quite a hard card to go against. Italy. I've not played Italy a lot. We actually have great tanks, but again, time and late stages. Some of their tanks, you're just not gonna take a punch, or which is a very sad thing. Later on, if you get here to the OF Leopard stages, then you can kind of have like this good combat style Sherman. I see they have a Sherman VC Firefly, which is a great tank, can take a punch actually, but the rest very hard to play. I see they also have American tanks, so you can just basically stay in the American play style if you want it. France, yeah, this, look, if somebody wants my honest opinion about playing France, it's like licking a brick, not fun. France is as, yes, you're correct. 100 points to Gryffindor. Swedish. They make awful cars. I don't expect them to make good tanks. No, they don't. They don't. Sweden is actually very nice to play. They actually have good things. So some of it is copy and paste from other nations, and especially like the Stridswagen series is all just Centurions. But what's fun about them is these series, the IKV 91, which has this nasty little heat round, this one. and especially the tanks it plays against, very nasty to use. You can't take a hit, but you're dead. This thing is a nightmare. It has like this rotating rockets inside, which it shoots. It just rotates and it launches like a shit ton of rockets at you, and you die. If you don't have armor, you're dead. They have this other stances, which like the C90 Mark IV, and this one, it shoots the 40 mil cannons and stuff like that, which if you get any modern tank to the side, it's dead. And then they have their it's Ordon, these combat vehicles that they have on this side, which is very good. And they just basically then again have the Leopard. I'd stick to Germany if you just want to play Leopard. You don't have to go through extra steps. Israel, very unique nation, especially the Merkava. The Merkava is a very unique tank. Because of its plating, a very good tank. But one problem as the plating and in the game is the seating of these exterior fuel tanks, and it garners some protection, but not with a protection analysis. And you say, what's the M23? No. If you just take that good old round, tanks dead, you launch, people die, have ammunition explosion at the back of the end. But if you go like this, again, I mean, that's any other tank in the position of it. This plate here, but if you play top cover, you can see the protection mapping, which is great to check. You have a lot of angled ways to have a good protection towards the side of yourself. But the guys now, which I can say is the worst people to play against, are these people. Well, not them specifically, but Russian guys to play against. Very hard to play against. Three I think, that's gonna be the 3v. Now, where's that round? Funny enough, it doesn't have that round. The Russians' mapping of protection are just a pain to play against, especially this T90M. Hard guy to go against. Doesn't look like it, but truly this ERA and things here, very difficult tank to get through. But this is, let's say that is the one problem you're gonna have. And then this guy. Yes, the T-34s are hard to kill. And I'm having my run-in with these things, these Terminators. The name in combat these days are Terminator, and they are a pest to go against because they have these this protection armor inside and layers. So how they protect their guys in this tank, basically even with your rounds. I mean, I'm gonna take for starters picture analysis. Great button, Desert Warrior. I'm gonna take my tank now, which is the M111, which I have now. I And this is a BMT. BPM. I think it's a BMPMT. I have a strong struggle against this. And you have to hit correctly on this bastard. If I, which I'm working now, is for my DM63, I'm gonna have a much easier penetration part for it, because the lance that's in the ammo is a lot longer. It's a longer travel, thicker place to travel to. Germany at this moment, let's say I'm playing that 10%. So I'm basically going against these guys sometimes, a bit higher now and then. Again, good spatial armor, especially around it, but modern, what do you call it? Modern ammo. So you see, like this is. I'm just gonna get it off. So you see the darts and the sabers are still a little bit shorter. So if this ammo is fired, it has good protection against them, but against modern sabers, like these ones, where the dart is unnatural. So like that's almost like the size of the older ones, but then the fin and stuff is better made. But these longer darts just traveled, there you go, 650 millimeters of armor, which is crazy. So yeah, so it's a hard battles in the top tiers. Check. And for the BF-102, good choice. Good choice. Tigers are a very good choice. And if you played it right, your Tiger H1 and your Tiger E, always remember angled armor. If you station yourself like this in a skew position while firing, you're going to have much more success in your firing lines and things. From the front, they're going to struggle, but sometimes you're going to maybe have like these guys. And your problem is if you're gonna have to look out for is heat rounds. If you find things like this, so heat rounds are a pest, but usually you can take like one or two of them, depending on who's your opponent, basically who you're going against. But usually the German Tiger series is great battle tanks, and you won't be you won't be sad or anything like that. You'll enjoy it quite. Right now at this moment, like I said, I'm grinding a bit of USSR with Britain at the moment. I want to get to my old account. Like I said, I had two accounts, and my first account, I was in the first when War Thunder was just getting tanks. They were first planes, flying planes, and when they got tanks, when they got the tanks settled and there was more options, I love the T-44 series of the Russian tanks, and for me personally, I like the was the head shape of this tank, and especially the armor thickness here in front. And these things are very hard to penetrate. When I started playing against them, they still are. They are utter bastards. But when you learn how to play these tanks, you'll have a fantastic game. But there's this thing people call Russian bias. Have you heard of it in this game? Like, the game has Russian bias. I have anti-Russian bias. I die so quickly with these Russian tanks. Oh, it's not even true. Yeah, I usually I like the Russian tanks because they look so peculiar. They look strange. They just look strange, and I like it. They scratch the tism in my mind about how they look. Uh, Especially this. I don't know some people, but this is just one sexy piece of equipment to me. Can't take a shot for shit if it's heat, but just looks nice because there's literally no armor to this. It's a marine style vehicle. So when you shoot it once, it's just dead, but it looks good. I think the main reason why I kept on with the British is two tanks. Two tanks why I like the British. And then later on, they added the South African tree, which just made me keep going. Chieftain 900. Why didn't I see this? Like I said, I haven't played in a while. This is peculiar. Never knew this. I might come back for that guy. My first reason is for doing the going back to the British tree was this tank, and especially this tank in the British series of tanks, Chieftain Mark 10 with the Stillbrew armor. So this thing, Stillbrew additional armor. As a child, I loved it. It was something that I always liked. And then he's where is it? He's what you can basically say is father is this thing, the Conqueror. Oh, I love this tank. This and the Chieftain is what made me play the British take 3. Kind of like that, what do you call it? Artistic obsession as a child when you've seen these tanks and you just fall in love with them. And let the graphics load a little bit. There we go. It looks very plain, I know, for some people, but the additional armor plates and stuff just made it look very good to me. But main problem with this tank is reload time. At the time, very hard to do, especially no gunnered crews were trained for this type of big gun. This was basically Britain's answer for the T-62s, T-63s. At the time. Which I think the Americans had the... What do they call that vehicle again? I'll just have to go to the tech tree for a moment. Because my ADHD is kicking in when you mentioned War Thunder. I'll focus deeply. The US answer was M103. No, it wasn't the M103. Where is it? It's the one with the 90mm. Yes. The T34, about same era. T34 with T26 Pershings. Where is it now? An M47, M60 was much earlier than that. M60, yes, M60, M103, and the T32 series. But where is the real one? M46, M20, no. Where'd it go? Super Pershing. Oh, there we go. So this was after World War One. Two. World War. Hear me now. You hear the sacrilege that came out of my mouth. World War Two. At the end, late era, of World War Two. After a while was the Super Pershing that came out, and then went on to the Korean War. T-34 came out. Then it was T-32. M103, yeah, it was the M60 and M103. M60, 105 millimeters. 347. But the problem was the Americans and NATO basically saw that the Russians had a nasty little surprise at that time. Where is our T62? T62, they already started to use thin saber rounds, which were penetrating a Cold War. Yes, Cold War. So in the Cold War times, so the T62, the Americans knew they had a problem, and they had to basically revamp their whole tanks, because the Russians penetrating capabilities were getting more and more advanced because of the T62 and the T64 series. Let's find a more. T64A. This is more appropriate. Basically, these rounds were outperforming NATO, and they were worried about this because the Cold War era tanks that they had couldn't perform the same capabilities of firing power. That's why you will say that you will see that after standard, like the M63, they all have these weird millimeters of guns. So like they have the 105, and the British had the 120 coming with it of the Chieftains. 120, 120, 105 for the Centurion Mark 10, which was also very later on as well, a Cold War tank. In Germany at the time, we're playing the M48s, 105 mils. Then there's West and East Berlin. So NATO basically came together and said, we need a standard round of munition. And we need to do it so that everybody uses the standard side of ammunition. And it was like, okay, yes. And the development came into the Abrams tanks, and which at the end started the rate of the 120 millimeter rounds for these tanks. And that became basically NATO standard for all NATO military tanks. So if you go to Germany, you'll see the same 120 mil. Britain on their Challengers is 120 mil. Japan, about 10, 120. Italy, the R8 is 120. France Leclerc, 120 mil. Sweden, also 120. And then the Makava will also be 120 millimeters. And they all basically came together. We need all around that's going to be basically performing or outperforming the same as the Russians. So the 120 mil is going to be fine. Russian standard is always 125 millimeters in this era, which is basically a standard. I think Team 55 was 100 mil, was 115, going to the T72, yeah, 125. Chinese are going to be the same, 125, 125. Yeah, I hope that was good information to learn. That it was interesting, at least. Yes, the low BRs are going to be a pain. Basically, best nations are the ones that were in actual war. Yes. So for China's part, I mean, they have, if we take the history into account, they basically had a lot of war of their own, and they were in a lot of shit, especially in these times. Yes, it's true for the Japanese. Japan didn't actually have much tank-to-tank interaction because the Chinese Liberation Army at that time only existed with very old Soviet tanks like the T-26 and stuff like that, which ended up losing the war because they didn't have many of them anyway. Only later, when they were liberated by the Americans, did they get that the Chinese start to get American tanks, and then as well as your Russian tanks, your better Russian tanks, which they got at the time. Sweden is a mishmash. They also, this thing is a pain to go against. There's this little penetrating round. Where is it? It's on the sides. Gone. The Swedish have an interesting part with the Finns, because the Finns have like this weird combo of British and Russian tanks, which doesn't make sense, but apparently what they had. Same with Israel. If you what's this? AMX, that's French, British, Russian, British, Russian. There's the Merkava 1. Oh, that's American. All right, let's see. American. American. The only time when you can actually see that the Israelis are starting to play their own tanks is when you can start with the Merkava 1. But I won't say don't look down on these tanks, because they do have some good rounds, like the M111, good round, very powerful. Spider, I know it from somewhere. Yeah, all right. That's my TED talk. Yeah. Same with you, man. Thanks for staying to chat. Appreciate it. I call them observers, and they are very much needed in society. People need to observe. It's a very big part of fundamentality, because if nobody's observing anything, then nobody's actually being learned. Any option to thanks for staying for this time. I appreciate. The temperature. Oh, for us. Oh, we have hot summers. So, what do you work in? Celsius or Fahrenheit? I see. -5 Celsius. And where is this in the world that's 5 Celsius at the moment? know where Greece is. Country above it. This out. Are you in Bulgaria, North Macedonia, or Albania? There's 3 countries above it. Macedonia, North Macedonia. Alexander the Great. That is a flex, my good sir. That is a flex and a half. Alexander the Great. What a great leader he was to act to his people. Not so much his enemies, but his people and the nation him and his father has built was an extraordinary story. And sad that he died at a young age. But to give you his perspective, this is at night now, where we are. That is a side we can take into it. A real interesting side we can take to it. In 27 years, this is now at 2:45. 15 minutes to 3 o'clock in the morning about. Yeah, the heat here is I don't know. What's your highest record of heat you would say is in your summers? $45, $6. And would that be a dry heat or heat with humidity? My glasses are pressing. Okay. So it depends really where you are in South Africa. Let me open maps again, I'll show you. It depends where you are in South Africa. It's a weird country, I won't lie. I'm gonna bring maps here. So where I live is here in Pretoria, in South Africa. So we get humidity. We get like our average degree in a sunny day. Like average is like 32, 35. We sometimes go to 40. But then that heat would usually bring no humidity with it. But if you're like a 32 or a 35, you can get like a 50% humidity and stuff like that. If you go north, you're gonna get like a 32 average, but your humidity is gonna rise like a lot. You're gonna get like a 32 degrees Celsius with like an 80% humidity. And when you go towards the western side, there's this place we call Pofadder. which is like a snake's name. It is. And now, around this area, this is the hottest side of South Africa. That's why it looks so dry here. We call this the Kalahari. Beautiful landscapes, to be honest. Now here in Pofadder, you reach very high heats. What was the record here in Pofadder again? Record. Oh, you need. So you basically get like the driest heat ever that you can feel in your life, like at a 41 to 40 degrees Celsius, and like no humidity, nothing. You just burn all you do there. So the heat, dangerous. Like it's dry heat and you burn to shit. There's no other way to explain it to people. And then, funny enough, if you go down south in the western side, like here in our beaches, you get like the nicest dry heat. It's like a 35, 37 degrees Celsius. And it's nice and cool because the Atlantic is the Atlantic, right? Yes, the Atlantic Ocean always brings winds to these coasts. Sometimes not much, but some days the wind on these towns is very nice to actually feel. And then here in Namibia, I used to like to come here. This is what they call Sossusvlei, which is a great place to check out one day. If you ever want to see dunes and stuff like that, this area, this is a nice place to go. Swakopmund, and you travel if you travel with a traveling place, and they take you through this Swakopmund. Been everywhere. Yeah, I've been in Botswana, Namibia, even Mozambique, up here until where was it? Inyamban. Where is it? At the turning point of one of these. Moteke, Lefinda, Mafira, Matwara. Because this is Zanzibar now. This is coming too far. No, where's this beach now? Purachide, Nova Scotia. Why can't I find Inyamban right now? I've been here by Murube. It's actually not that far. I think I'm just too far. Okay, I'm not finding it now. There's a place called Inyamban. Ah, there it is. Inyambane. Fantastic place to go, but I wouldn't go there right now. They've got like this civil dispute going on there. South Africa, West Coast all the way. This coast, if you don't want to die of 90% humidity to 99% humidity with like a 35 degrees Celsius, the air is thick, you can cut it with a knife. Botswana, also a nice place, but it's flat, like flat. It's like nothing to see. Even the cities are hidden between trees. So what you do is if you go in by what is it? Not Lubate or Khupane, Aburun. No. Okay. There's like a gate here. They call it Skulpat's Gate. I think it's this one. Then you basically, there's a highway driving through it, which is. You think you can survive the weather here? The weather is a different one. I've traveled through here, and Kalahari, Transfrontier Park, is out of this place. So what makes the Kalahari so different is that when it rains, it creates a lake. And when the raining season goes away, the water just goes down, and there's this dry bed, and you can drive on it, and there's like these islands you go camping on, which is mind blowing. I don't think people know this. No salt bed. No, it's just a dry lake. No salt bed, nothing. Salt beds you will find here in Swakopmund and the coasts with oceans. Like in Swakop, you'll find there's like this flamingo thing here. If you drive to it, it's called Walvis Bay. You'll find this there's like this salt harbor in this area where they collect salt from and stuff. Botswana, no salt in the Kalahari. It's just a lake with no water, and then suddenly when it rains, just creates this lake, and then when it dries up, it dries down. Actually, show you much better like this. So when you look at like this, you can see the etches of water on this whole river, this lake. It's literally like it's just a dry lake at the end of the day. And there's this one island in the Kalahari that's like I see like the dunes campsite. They have like all these places you can go camping in it when it's dry and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. Very dry and hot, but very beautiful. It's a different place. Now at Swakop, you have this place called Moon's Landing. I don't have my glasses on, so be a little patient. I have to find it now. And they call it Moon's Landing because the rock there basically mimics the topography of the moon. And we have to stay close to Swakop, otherwise it's and it and it's almost and it's black like this when you go there. The rocks are black, and if you're lucky enough, Namibia has these crystal quartz. Yes, crystal quartz. They have a lot of crystals here. You can literally go to these parks and walk and just find a random crystal lying in the ground. Which is very nice. And then here you have, I've been here as well, Etosha National Park. Let's say They even have a small airport there. But we drove all the way from Pretoria, here where I'm from, until here. They also have this lake. Um, it's mind blowing. I can't explain it this to people. If they ever have the chance, they should explore Namibia. Be prepared for a really hot vacation, but you won't have fun. I literally camped like right here in this place, and then there's like this watering hole. The elephants come here when it's dry. You can literally sit and watch animals come to this drinking hole. The elephants would come, rhinoceroses, fond places, very fond places. And night we were camping here, so there's like another camp here. This camp had a problem with lions in the area at that one night. While we were camping there, a group of lions came to this camp, and the game wardens had to come out and basically chase them away, because they're not allowed to come close to the camps, because otherwise people feed them, which is very bad. Otherwise they get too accustomed to people, and then they'll actually start killing people because they look like easy prey. Okay, I'm going to take you to one last place, but I'm going to ask you a question. You know what the Kruger National Park is? So the Kruger National Park is South Africa's biggest nature park that we have in our country. It has everything the big five. The big five are rhinoceroses, elephants, lions, leopards, and buffalo. And it's very big. And it's so big, this national park. It has what do you call it? Can't think of the word, but you know that when you go, before you enter another country, you have to go through the gates. You know that thing. You have to. They even have these things in this national park. A big border. Yes, border crossings. You're correct. Border crossings. They have border crossings, and so you have Komatipoort, and then you have Bafuri. These must be very strange names for you. And it's a big park, and it's one of the biggest places you can actually go to South Africa. If I can ever tell somebody to go there, they have great accommodations and things for people that come, and it's very nice. But yeah. North Macedonia. I'll remember that. I'll check it up tomorrow. I like learning about places. Okay. New option, thank you for staying. I really need to get to bed. The deepest lake in Europe. I'll check it out. I'll take that out. Thanks for staying, brother. It was fun. And like I said, I enjoy perspectives not only as my own, but to learn from other people as well. I'm going to greet you. This is my tip to going to bed. And wish you all the best. And thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Bye.